Hello, America. My name is Rosalind Greene, and I'm proud to announce that I'm one of the 2020 candidates for President of the United States of America. I want to read this letter that I wrote to One America. Let me get started. When I look around this great country, the United States of America, my heart, mind, body, soul, and spiritual being, I see a great country booming with a fruitful diversity of people from all walks of life, with various social class, ethnicity, race, gender, sexual orientation, national background, religions, cultural, and spiritual path. For this incredible lifetime of vision of experiences, born and raised in America, all I know is one America for all Americans and non-Americans. Therefore, this is the America that we call our home. Let me start off saying, Dear One America, for all Americans and non-Americans. America, this election is not just about Democrats and Republicans. It's about America's democracy, future, and economic growth. One America is in a deep state of anger, hate, and pain that have ripped one America to pieces. We are called to stand up and fight for our democracy and for the unity that has defined America as the greatest country in the world. One America has been called upon to rise, unite, and stand together as one America for all Americans and non-Americans. We must work side by side to help strengthen the people of this great country. It is healthy to have diversity, differences, and conflicts. I know that when we allow that diversity, differences, and conflicts to get so toxic, it can cause deadly, hateful, and harmful division. For this, we will not be united as one and solve shared problems that keep one America divided into pieces. To make whole as one people, one America, for the people, we must listen, talk, and have mutual respect for all people so we can work together to solve our shared problems. One America, I feel your pain. I see your pain. I hear your pain because it is one America's pain. As one America present together as a whole, we can put an end to this deeply entrenched pain, hate, and division as one America president. As a whole and as one people, for the people, I promise a path of healing, one America that will bring us together to start the healing and allow all sides into the shared problem-solving platform. This approach will embrace and provide shared solutions to our problems, policies, and laws that will put one America for all Americans and non-Americans towards healing and progressive path that will lead one America to a united path to peace. And this, I believe, will happen because we are the people for the people. America, we are Americans. The courageous Helmut Titman stated, America was not built on fear. America was built on courage, on imagination, and an unbeatable determination to do the job at hand. For this America must come together as one America. We must not live in fear and allow fear to defeat us. But let me tell you, however, it is natural to feel and be feared. It gives us the drive to be tough, smart, truthful, respectful, and we can say kiss off without saying it. Our action and the way we express and expose and implement our action, one America's action, like not putting children into cages, will carry the most significant impact. Our action can be contagious, respectful, spiritual, kind, be understanding, magnetic, moving, remotivating, inspiring, and unified. Let me tell you, although we have done the impossible from generation after generation, from decade after decade, from century after century, let's do the impossible as one America, right now, not tomorrow. We can attest to this today. America would never be destroyed from the outside. If we feather and lose our freedoms, it will be because we destroyed ourselves. That's what Abraham Lincoln said. African Americans fought for freedom. America fought for freedom and equality rights for all. There is only one way to go, and it's forward. Let me be real. If any candidate is seeking the African American vote and afraid to have an open discussion about how, why, and the solution to the reality that African Americans are systematic, marginalized, and disenfranchised in America, politicians shouldn't take for granted the power of the African American vote. I'm calling out issues and problems that affect all race in one America, for all Americans and non-Americans. I am taking notes, and as your president, I promise tangible actions. One America would not adopt this war against the Muslims and the Latinos people that this racist and evil spirit administration has adopted and implemented policies designed to destroy, divide, and incite hate crimes to cause fear. They will not live in fear because they are Muslims Americans, Latino Americans, African Americans, and they have a right to be treated as equals. The Muslim ban will be destroyed. This hateful and harmful propaganda this administration has freely promoted against the Latino and Muslim American communities will come to an end. This garbage coming from this administration is not America's garbage. It's Trump's garbage, and he will take it with him when we replace him in 2020. Before I move on, let me share a wonderful vision I had about 14 years ago. I live in a home that is surrounded by diversity. My children played with the children in the neighborhood that were diverse, that was of diverse ethnicity, racial, and cultural backgrounds, and was exposed to many spoken languages. One day, let me tell you, I was watching my grandchildren play outside with the children living in the neighborhood. Most of them, they lived in homes a couple of doors from our home. My eyes were in a fixed state. The sight of the children's innocence had inspired my soul, and the beautiful vision of unity and the innocence of skin color blindness made my heart stop a beat. And then the diverse tones of the viscerous energies and the innocence coming from their mouths made shock waves go into my heart with this nanosecond healing spiritual aura that had encompassed my mind, body, and spiritual being, with a clear vision of my grandchildren growing up in this great country, free and innocent, born with of skin color blind. One America for all Americans and non-Americans. Let me say, one America, the purity of love, life, laughter, compassion, fearless of one's race, pureness of skin color blindness, and the unity is what we are born with. But when children are robbed of their born rights of innocence to be protected from force and taught that skin color blindness is a temporary innocence, it was clear to me that seeing the children playing together inspired me with an awe and a vision of the reality of robbed innocence that would never end if we do nothing. We will never forget the past, the future of our babies and children from generation after generation, to be able to embrace that born innocent and skin color blindness and form a nation free of discrimination and massive inequalities. We will live in a nation one day, living the reality of Dr. Martin Luther King's dream. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the innocence of their character. The essential pieces of innocence we are born with could be the key ingredients needed to allow our babies and generations to come to embrace their essential pieces of innocence without having forced and taught racism and hate inflicted upon them because they are children without rights. Let me tell you, babies want to be babies and children want to be children and play together as much as possible. I'm a nana of 5 grandchildren, and it is the greatest feeling in the world. It's like a renewal of rebirth with a high dose of energy that is needed after you are drained from raising your children. Some of you are mature enough to know what I'm talking about. Let me make a correction. Having my children was my greatest feeling and accomplishment in the world. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Said Martin Luther King. I say to one America, for all Americans and non-Americans, that life's most critical and essential question is, what are you doing to others? Oh, allow me to reword my question. One America for all Americans and non-Americans, that's life's most critical and essential question is, what are we going to do with this nut job that uses his tiny hands to grab women by the throat, shithole, racist, criminal, and bigot? Let me stop in our White House that incites crime, terror, racism, and rob babies and children of their rights to be innocent. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Okay, sorry, I got a little carried away there. But let me say, I come before you without a doubt because I'm optimistic that America will come together as one America. I believe and I have faith in America. If we truly understood the powerful ramifications and the lasting impact of our most precious possession that we own, our vote, we will be ready for the 21st century. We will not be afraid to talk about and discuss some of the most divisive issues that are the norm by this administration. Together we can make a difference in destroying this out of touch with one America administration that has the inability to mentally understand reality and the mentality that strives off of the fantasy delusions of a fiction, one America, and our people. The only way to survive this administration agenda is for one America to step up and stump, bump, and slump, and then dump Trump into his swamp with his thugs and pump them away from one America. One America is not going to be taken into hostages by the Ku Klux Klans, anti-Muslims, neo-Nazis, racism, homophobia, white supremacists, white nationalists, anti-Semitic, and sexism, as to name a few, to destroy the fabric of our democracy. As one America, as one people, we will address these terrorizing issues straight up, freely, and head on, because we can see the direction this great nation is heading if we do nothing and accept it as the business of the day like this administration has embraced. America will not move in that direction, and there will be no going back. I will not be afraid to address these issues and call them out. We must protect the next generations to come and break this cancerous business of the day cycle. Our children deserve better. One America can do better. We must do better, and we will do better, because this is the United States of America, the greatest country in the world. One America, we shouldn't see and accept our people's homeless, living in poverty, sickened with inequalities, discrimination, racism, unfair social justice system, nationwide decline and negative impact upon African Americans communities regarding economic empowerment and development, human capital, income, wage, and wealth, and highest police brutality inflicted upon our black boys and men, insensitive gun control, mass killings and gun violence, low quality and out-of-date infrastructure, unsafe communities, low paying jobs and income, wage and wealth inequality, access to quality, affordable education for all. Let me tell you, with my over 30 years of healthcare experience and expertise, One America will have access to world-class, affordable, quality healthcare, dental, and vision care called Universal Healthcare System. It's known as Medicare for All. Now, let me be honest. One America moving to a universal healthcare system, Medicare for All, will not be a day at the golf resort to implement it. It will be a complex and complicated process. And when politicians tell you something this amazing is free, run fast and vote for me. I'm the only candidate with 30 years in the healthcare industry. This process is not a talking point or policy or laws that I will not attempt to use Twitter as a mode to work with One America and then announce it is the law of the land. Replacing our current healthcare system with a universal healthcare system is a shared problem-solving approach. This is going to be extremely complex, comprehensive, and controversial. If we as One America for all Americans and non-Americans come together as one people, we can attain the state-of-the-art universal healthcare system that will provide One America its rights to health care for all. Let me share another story with you. Now, don't laugh. Now, I had bilateral torso small toe spurs while I was on active duty, standing for 10 to 16 hours a day, caring for our military members and their families. Let me say, I will honor and I will respect our veterans, active duty military members, and their families in good times, bad times, wartime, definitely rain, snow, sunshine. I would do it 24/7, 365 days. But let me tell you, when I had my bilateral toe spurs while on active duty, I would do it again as the President of the United States of America. Now, due to the excellent health care while on active duty, I had my bone spur surgically treated and had to walk around for months wearing those big ugly walking shoes. And it was an honor to serve. I want to say for a fact, spurs don't keep an individual from serving his or her country. Let me say, all Americans and non-Americans living in America should be able to live as equal regardless of one's religion, gender, race, national background, and sexual orientation. Americans should have access to family paid leave and affordable quality child care, free school lunch programs, and so much more. One America, if you truly understood the most precious possession that you own, and what our ancestors fought for and died to give most of us to have the right to own, and that is your vote. We are the people for the people. Therefore, we need to understand this excellent, powerful tool. And your thoughts on what this tool can do for you and this country is infinite. It's unlimited. And for this understanding and the powerful impact has you will guard it closely to your heart. And you will use it and you will plant the seeds for your future and for more and many generations to come. Let me tell you, from this point forward, we can move this nation forward into the 21st century. We can vote out the corrupt elected officials nationwide that have stagnated, stigmatized, and divided our country and its people. For decades, we have created our weaknesses and crippled the most significant strengths that have kept us as the 99%. One America has the ultimate power to change the 99% stigmatization that the top 1% think it is a fundamental right and the American way. We can together accomplish economic growth by joining together as one America, and we can use the infinite limitation of our most precious possession that we own, and it's our vote, and move our great nation to the 21st century. One America for all Americans and non-Americans. We will and we must work together to end this toxic division that is moving faster than the speed of the light through our communities, jobs, school, churches, homes, and the country we love. We need to work together because we have done the impossible many times to restore America's democracy, and women of this great country will not be under attack and replaced in this world. We will stand firm and together as one woman for all. We will have our seats at the table and be the leader of this great country. My progressive principle and policies are: provide Americans with tangible economic empowerment and development, and invest in human capital, access to quality health care for all, Medicare called Medicare for all, access to free and affordable education for all, sensible gun safety reform, One America National Firearms and Weapon Agreement and Buyback Program. We will be buying back guns. If you don't want them, I will have a program. Criminal justice reform, climate change and environment regulations and policy, restore the Paris Accord Agreement, support the Green New Deal and jobs in the clean energy sector, addressing African Americans communities' real issues and problem solving those issues with tangible solutions geared to eliminate the massive steady decline in one America's African Americans communities. We have policy, regulations, and programs for black ownership household with low income, black owned business growth, expansion, and equal access to capital for a pathway to economic empowerment and development. We have a comprehensive compassion immigration reform. We saw a policy to protect immigrant children. We're going to find them all, and we're going to get all those immigrant kids back to their family. And the DACA men and women will have a clear pathway to citizenship. One America is the home, the only home they call home. We will have this state-of-the-art 21st century infrastructure. Definite taxation on the target method to include appeal and replace the Trump tax scam for the wealthy and the billionaire policy. I will fight and I will work hard on women's rights, economic empowerment and development, income, wage, and wealth inequality for women, where it will end. The women's right revolution of the 21st century, economic empowerment and development breaking barrier plan will address that. I will fight and I will work hard to put a stop to the inequalities affecting African Americans that have caused massive racial, criminal, and social injustice, inequality, and Trent's Valley, not a gap, caused by extreme income, wage, wealth, gender inequalities. When these issues have tangible solutions and policies specific to address and resolve these issues, this is called progressive revolution, economic empowerment and development, and economic growth. And we will have a paid family leave for all and access for all to affordable child care programs. We'll have the free school healthy lifestyle breakfast and lunch programs, which is going to be part of our universal health care. I am going to start implement a healthy America. We are going to have equal rights, safety, and protection for lesbians, gay, bisexual, transgenders, transsexual, queer, questioning intersex, asexual, ally, pansexual, sexual identity, and LGBT community. Tuition-free colleges and a reduced cost for community college and access to affordable universities for all. We're going to overhaul our government student loan programs geared towards post-college debt structure or debt-free. Legalize marijuana nationwide. That includes equal justice reform nationwide. Foreign policy. Now look at our national security. We support American relationship with the global world and our allies, because America is first, and its people, and the greatest country in the world. We're going to put investment into your American dream and your future that you want for you by entrepreneurship, startup, business expansion, and individualized pathways to investment capital, human capital, economic empowerment and development, and advanced skill training with a concentration specific to address the African American communities and African American girls and women. We have teacher rights to fair pay will be above the national standards. Without teachers and educators, one America would not be the greatest country in the world. Teachers need to be doing their jobs, not out protesting, on strikes, and fighting for a right to live the American dream. The national standards for nurses to include nursing shortage, wages, mandated nurse-to-patient ratios, mandated national standards for high quality of care for all, free college to bring quality nurses to the field and rural and underserved communities. Without addressing this, Medicare for all would not be the highest quality of care model that we intend for it to be. I will have 51st man and 51st men plan. I'm married to one America, and this plan will allow two people from each state to be my first woman and first man. They will be Democrats, Republicans, and Independents to be the voice for the people and will work directly with me. I promise, if you elect me to be your president, we will work hard for your vote. Most importantly, I will not be afraid to address these issues, concerns, and impacts they have made on our democracy, economic growth, and we will all have an equal seat at the table. I can recall as it was yesterday. Country, which was yesterday, when Obama gave his announcement speech referring to Abraham Lincoln. I remember saying, this is what America needed, to hear from a president, and now here we are today, going through the most rigorous cancers, divisions in my lifetime. I'm quite sure most of y'all lifetime. I recall President Barack Obama saying, he said, this is what Abraham Lincoln understood. He had his doubts, he had his defeats, he had his skeptics, he had his setbacks, but through his will, his words, he moved a nation and helped free a people. It is because millions who rallied to his cause that we're no longer divided, north and south, slaves and free. It is because men and women of every race, from every walk of life, continue to march for freedom long after Lincoln was laid to rest. That today we have the chance to face the challenges of this millennium together as one people, as Americans. Let me tell you what I would do that other politicians are not helping America. I want to say about the new American revolution to the 21st century. One America and for all Americans, a non-American plan. I'm going to implement the new taxpayers investment into taxpayer plan. I want to implement the women revolution of the 21st century economic empowerment breaking barrier plan. These strategic initiatives will help strengthen and empower the people of this country. Let me tell you, I was called upon by God. It's my faith to be the moral leader that will stand up and fight with the people to move America forward. The jobs that are low-wage jobs, Americans are living from paycheck to paycheck, working for peanuts on cheap-ass steroids. Americans are throwing away their most own precious possession that they own. You're throwing away your vote without nothing of value. But it's our time to supercharge Americans' real innovation and powerful that will increase our success in the 21st century in our global competitive arena. Let me tell you, we have been through many revolutions and we have changed to move us forward. Never ever will we go backwards. Let me tell you, the so-called American dream is a fantasy for most Americans. Too far to reach with no capital to get it. Can you say you live in your future that you want? Really. Are you living the American dream? Americans are advancing up the billionaire dream and keeping it on rapid charge economic growth rocket, while Americans are in permanent idle mode. We're just watching the show. Not just tax scam, watching the show. The biggest adventure you can take is to live the life of your dream. Oprah said that. You need to believe in yourself. Because let me tell you something, I believe in you. Most Americans aren't able to work because their American dream, because they are working 2 to 3 jobs and they never get to live the American dream. This election should be about your ability to succeed, not the ability for the do-nothing politician with all these false-ass promises. Don't let fear and false hope kill your dreams, because this is what this is all about. I recall this school teacher saying how embarrassed she was when her students saw her waiting on tables. She said she had 3 or 4 jobs, and she used the money to buy supplies and to help her students and to pay her bills. Because her low-paying salary, she doesn't get to pay to play and get millions like our elected, corrupted politician. How many teachers have given away their most precious possession you own? Your vote. And did you get that big pay raise that those politicians promised you? We know the answer to that, too many to count. With all these protests and teachers going on strike, we know the answers to that. Let me tell you something, without vital economic advancement, empowerment, and development into human capital for all our youth, college students, and young adults, will find it to be impossible to reach their goals. I believe in youth mentorship, personal growth, training, leadership, development, financial literacy, management, training, job training, and education is needed so our sons and daughters have an equal opportunity to compete for the highly advanced skill level and high wage career opportunities. Let me tell you, if we do nothing, Americans, we will not be compatible and marketable to survive the 21st century. All Americans and all non-Americans have an equal right, have a right to equality in all aspects of his or her life. Therefore, it is in my best interest to work hard and fight smart to make sure that all Americans get a fair share of the pie. When Americans give away the most precious possession they own, the vote, to those corrupt politicians that are financial leverage, owned, they're controlled and paid for in full by the big donors, the super PACs, the special interests, the lobbyists, and the Russian oligarch. This is just to name a few. Americans pay the price and get none of the pie. They don't want us to have any of the pie. The corrupt, swamp, infected politicians, they get our votes knowing that they already sold us to the highest bidder. As those swamp thugs politicians call it, pay to play. I would call this gutless and heartless politician over our great country and its people. The massive income wage, social injustice, and wealth inequalities between the top 1% and the working class. I can tell you 99 we would never leave home base, let alone make it our first base. I use the term middle class and working poor. There's no middle class. We really poor too, living from paycheck to paycheck. People working 3 jobs and they still living from paycheck to paycheck. America, this so-called term middle class, it is not the future. How the hell is it the future when you're living from paycheck to paycheck? No disposable income to enjoy a decent quality of life. That is not the middle class. Let me make this very clear. I'm 100% aware of the daily struggles of families and communities and around this great nation, and the stress and health problems that comes with those struggles. People are homeless due to the real impacts of global warming that are causing extreme massive wildfires that have burned out hundreds of thousands of communities, and they have left thousands of communities without a trace of their identity to even call it a community of home. There was something they once used to call their home. This is generations of memories that's been burnt to the ground, destroyed. There are hundreds of thousands of people still homeless without no place to call home. That's a national emergency. As a president, if I'm elected, your struggles are my struggles. Your pain is my pain. Your stress is my stress. We are one America. And Puerto Rico is our America. Just hold on, Puerto Rico. I promise you, the great people of Puerto Rico, that they will never be forgotten again. Because you are part of America too. Showing up throwing some paper towels is a heartless and mindless act. Sadly, the deadly wildfires, floods, hurricanes, they don't burn down or drown the medical bills, student loans, mortgages, car payments, and all the other financial obligations. I know that the bill collectors, they don't let you go past go without paying them. This administration is so on the damn touch with reality and live in this fantasy and privileged world that throwing paper towels and letting thousands die like animals is okay. These are bottom line issues, all our issues. I promise the people of this great nation that I will never degrade you and or not support you during these horrific times. Trust me, global warming and climate change, whatever you want to call it, it is real. They are real. We are immune to these catastrophic climate change events. And in some cases, we may be the victim of this corruption by our elected officials. Just look at how Trump treated Puerto Rico. American citizens, he didn't even know it was American. We keep impacting their health and their lives and their environmental assets and infrastructure and so much more. So much more still so impacted. Let me tell you, this fake 3 times a day doses of stock market propaganda tweets that's geared to keep Americans in a paralyzed fantasy. Well, this administration report on the stock market life sounds like a foreign language to most Americans. The rise and fall in stock markets have only benefited the wealthy. I want to say, do you have stock? This administration practices are so out of touch with reality, and they got so many Americans that are assuming that the booming stock market will get the other 99% of Americans off home base. The question is, has it got you off home base? I'm serious. Americans land on home base, cemented, with no chance of being able to move. It is not possible to hit a ball that doesn't exist. So your vote will help keep the top 20% of the people with ownership of the over 85% of the American stock market. I'm saying, are you still willing to pay for your piece of the pie that this administration promised you? Are you again swinging at an invisible Trump ball? Well, let me tell you something. Keep waiting. It will not come. All Americans will get if a truckload of lies, alternative facts, false promises, and no path to the American dream. And don't let these other politicians that's running, if they're not doing nothing to get your vote, don't vote for them. Let me tell you, however, the Americans of this great country, they will inherit from this administration, I'm going to say thanks to the courtesy of the Republican tax down bill, a more profound and broader income, wage, and wealth inequality. It's no longer a gap. It's more like a valley, a big trench now between the 1% and 99%, because of this scam, this tax scam. That's entrenched between the rich and the 99% in America. That's the courtesy of the Republican tax scam bill. It was created to give trillions back to the rich. Dollars is coming from our pocket back to the rich. I bet they was laughing when they signed that bill. How many people even got a tiny taste or a sniff of their dream, the American dream, under this administration? How many dreams did the rich turn into a reality? Let me know if your future dreams and your goals have blossomed into a reality. If the answer is no, how will you invest your most precious possession? What is it? Your vote. This 2020 election and all of the future elections. Let me tell you something. Wake up, America. This administration has targeted our Medicare, Social Security, our Medicaid programs to make cuts to help pay this tax scam bill, this gift that he gave to his billionaires, millionaires to overfill their treasure trunks. Now you're talking about the national emergency money. But let me tell you, I pledge and promise you, I would not take you for granted your most precious possession, your vote. My set of valuable principle goals this coming up election 2020 will be to launch America's new revolution of the 21st century, one America for all Americans and non-Americans plan. I would be the president when elected by the people, for the people, that you can trust with your most precious possession, your vote. I will work together with one America and for the future that you deserve. This administration has neglected us and its supporters, but I promise you I will never ignore the people of this great country. If you pledge and promise to go on this campaign with me, I guarantee you to never tell you things I perceive would be impossible and out of touch with reality, the mainstream and realism. I will never deceive and mislead you. I will not feed you abundance of falsehoods and unrealistic jobs, visions, dreams. And I will never sell you out because you and America, y'all are priceless. And I am not for sale, and our democracy is not for sale. If you pledge and promise to go on this campaign with me, I will not put up with the old ways of working to get jobs created and produce with low paid wages that will keep Americans in poverty. And I can see the commitments that Americans have made to live a quality life. Americans are forward thinkers. We're not backward thinkers. for their children, their families, and their communities. Therefore, I will treat you in this manner and will respect all Americans, regardless of their nationality, religion, class, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, and socioeconomic background. I pledge and I promise you that there will be no accommodation for lifeless, deadly, problem-solving strategies suitable for problems solving America's future forward. If you pledge and promise to go on this campaign journey with me, I will be the leader that will lead only one America for all Americans and non-Americans, regardless of one's party affiliation, because we are one America. I ask you to please understand that I will embrace one America for all Americans and non-Americans. Dreams, hopes, faith, goals, and ambition towards a greater one American's dream. The American dream. If you pledge and promise to go on this campaign journey with me, I will examine the whole picture. I will examine the vision of a picture and support the status quo upon the picture in hope to solve the problem and or its issue. Let me say, I know America as a full picture and can't look at America as a mixed picture with divisions and expect to solve its problems and issues in a handful manner. I pledge and I promise you that I will demand and fight for the highest standards of behavior for myself and as a moral leader worldwide. This moral leadership will set the highest standards for one America, for all Americans and non-Americans, meaning you. And I will help unite our country into one America, for all Americans, for you and many generations to come. Let me tell you, I know in my heart, we will see our country put aside our party affiliation and so many diverse problems that have led to such bitter divisions between our communities, our families, our brothers, our sisters, our sons, our daughters, our mothers, our fathers, our uncles, our nieces, nephews, and Americans. Let me tell you, we can't get along and we can't do better because we are Americans. I pledge and I promise to keep all Americans and non-Americans that have adopted America as their America a safe place. And I will promise you, I am not for personal economic gain or any special place. Remember, I will work for affordable health care. I bring to America with 30 years of health care experience into the health care industry. Over 30 years. I know America should have a right to quality health for all. And I know that most Americans don't have family and child care. I know that most Americans can't afford to eat healthy meals. I know that most Americans are not business owners. I know that police murder African American men at a higher rate than white men. And let me tell you something, it's going to fucking stop. I know the Me Too is a powerful, on fire, and no water needed movement. I know that Americans don't have parents that can give them money to start a business. That's why I will give you the money. I know that Americans face discrimination due to one's gender identity, sexual orientation, disability, religion, race, and so much more. We keep talking about this, but nothing is being done. I know that Americans don't want to depend on the government. We don't want to depend on the government. I know that Americans are fed up with income, pay, wealth, social injustice, gender, race, and wealth inequality, especially the African American community. I know that, and I get it. And I know Americans support DECA. And I know that Americans have a deep compassion for immigration reform. And I know that America is in deep pain and anger seeing immigrant babies and children ripped from their parents' arms and placed in cages like wild animals. And I know that America support common sense gun control. I know that Americans are homeless and they can't afford a place to go home. I know that women are fighting for women's rights to have full control over their body. And what I do know, and I know for a fact that men have control over their body. They're not fighting for their rights. Zero. And I know that Americans are making the rich richer. And we're gonna stop. Lord knows I know this. Because you know why I know this? Because I am one of those Americans. And for this, don't get caught up into this campaign with the household names and experiences and to steer you away from supporting counties that will work for your most precious possession. And that is your vote. And not sell you false promises and truckloads of alternative fights. I promise you quality health care for all Americans to include pre-existing conditions. No. I believe in Medicare for all. With my over 30 years of health care experience into the industry, let me tell you something, America, you will get the best. One America, or all America, non-American, you will get the security that you need and the health care you need. That would be my mission. I can and I will promise you criminal justice reform, economic justice, affordable quality education, free and reduced affordable housing and home ownership, and a never-ending fight to get complete gender, racial, immigrants' rights, women's rights, sexual orientation, justice for all, and so much more. I promise and I pledge to you that if you come with me on this journey, I will fight for your future. And you cast your vote for this coming up election 2020 for me. Don't make this election about nobody else but you. The toxic, corrupt, swampy politician get to pay for play with your vote. No more of that. No more. will bring you the future you dream of, not the future that I want. America is glowing. When America is glowing and the people are living the quality of life that they want, then I will be living the best life in history. I will be living. That means that I am fulfilling my duties to you. I respect and honor America's past, and I'm a forward thinker. And I'm in harmony with the real reality we are living in today. I'm a forward thinking, and I know what Americans demand. Not a stop of thinking like what we got now. I will be a leader of this democratic world that will work hard for you and for your household. And I will not be able to say that hopefully God offers job is not complicated and hard job. Let me say, I was born to work hard, and I love to work hard. Any of all these other candidates promise you, I can do it more and I can do it better. And I promise you 100 times I work harder. The people of this great country know where there is no leadership, society stands still. Progress appears when the raising leads to the opportunity. Change things for the better. Let me say the no drama Obama. Obama. This campaign has to be about reclaiming the meaning of citizenship, restoring our sense of common purpose, and realizing that few obstacles can withstand the power of millions of voices calling for change. And the drama boss will say, wake up people, wake up. Claim this election, it must be about you. Claim your part of this exhilarating, uplifting, hope, new purpose, economic empowerment, happiness, magnificent solidarity, and powerful new revolution for the 21st century. One America for all Americans and non-Americans. I want to say in closing, America, here I am before you, with you, beside you. I stand with you. I speak for you. I believe in you, encourage you. I motivate you, inspire you. I will nurture you. I will protect you. I will fight for you. Hell, I will die for you against when I need to. I will. America, here I am before you because I see Americans and non-Americans for every national background and religion affiliation living in America that they call home. Guess what, Trump? The facts is there. There is not a white America. That is not a black America. That is not even a brown America. That is not even a blue America. That is not even a red America. That is not even a green America. That's not even a Latino America. That's not even a Native America. That's not even an Asian America. That's not even a gay America. That's not even a women America. That's not even a man America. That's not an old or young America. That's not a disability America. Guess what, Trump? Guess what? And I want you to hear this. There is only one America of the United States of America. And it is our America. And this is not fake news. America, guess what? There's only one America. There never was, and there never will be this false promise that we're going to have a white America. Never. So don't embrace this false hope and false reality because it is not healthy that America that we all love, regardless of our party affiliation. This election is your claim to claim your dream, your destiny. The new revolution of the 21st century, one America for all Americans and non-Americans. I want you to claim it. I want you to claim it. I am looking forward to meeting the people of this great country. When we're traveling around this great country, please join and embrace the new revolution for the 21st century, one America for all Americans and non-Americans tour. The 2020 election is for you and it is about you. It is your vote, it is your passport to your future and what you want from you. It It is time to do you. Vote to play. And no more pay to play with your vote. No more of that. Let me tell you something. America, together we can. We can. We can see it. We can feel it. We can want it. I know that the black community, they want to believe that we're going to get help. Our issues going to be addressed. But I'm going to tell you, let's defeat it. Let's conquer it. Let's claim it. Let's bond. We can visualize it. We can create it. And we can implement it. And I want y'all to dream it. I want y'all to own it. I want you to love it. I want you to vote for it. I want you to vote for the new Americans. Revolution to the 21st century. Rise from the one America for all Americans and non-American plan. I want you to vote for the new taxpayers. The taxpayers investing into taxpayers plan. Not investing into this fake national wall. I want you, the women, to invest into the new revolution for the 21st century economic empowerment breaking barrier plan. How can women, we ever gonna get ahead and break this gap? We need to invest in ourselves. We need to believe in ourselves. We need to believe in our dreams, your goals, and the power of your vote. I want you to get ready for me to work hard and fight smart for all Americans, because I am going to work hard and I'm going to fight hard for all Americans and non-Americans. I know I have not addressed all of the causes, but this is just a letter that I want to send to the American people. I want to put my face to this letter. And you know, I have right now, I'm sorry, I have so much fire in my gut. I mean, I have a lot of fire in my gut. I'm not afraid to talk about issues that's because we as American people, we different race, we have our own set of issues that need to be dealt with. That needs to be, we should be able to talk about those issues and be okay with it. I will be a president, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna make that very clear. I do not have a problem telling it like it is. You know, gun control, immigration policy, you know, we know about this, and I think all of the Americans can agree with this. You can look at the statistics that say that the black, you know, the black communities, you know, the black wage gap, jobs and everything, is it getting worse and worse and worse. It's not even getting better. We are not even, we don't even own the business. We don't have the capital to even start up a business. If we do get the capital, we end up losing it because we can't make payments and stuff. I understand that the black community and black men and black women, we have been neglected. Let's just keep it real. We have been neglected. And this is not about a Democrat or Republican. This is about the race in general that I'm talking about. I'm talking, and you know, all these mass shootings. All this stuff, we need to get together and stop being afraid to talk about and look at the real issue instead of trying to blame all this stuff on mental health. You know, we need to stop doing that. We really need to stop doing that. And I wanted to say, I am an African American, and I don't expect my African Americans to think I'm entitled to your vote. Because if somebody thinks, because they're African American running, that they are entitled to your vote, you better go running, and you better do your research on them, and you better say next time, what do you have to give for me, for my dreams and my future, for my vote? Because right now, my vote for 2020 is going to be for me and about me, not about all these false promises that you're making me. Not about that.
It's the first step of the new.
Make it very clear.
The youth that doesn't.
Especially the African American community. You know that we have been out there supporting candidates, getting out there to vote, and then because you're African American, you run it, and you think you're entitled to the African American vote. No, you're not.
Your moment.
You're gonna work. We all should work for that vote.
Take your life by the scruff of
if they're not offering you anything
boss.
concrete,
My impulse to
Don't give them your
has been
vote.
slowly but surely beaten out
Your
of the
vote
experience.
is the most precious possession, and I mean it, that you own. And you need to start taking it from this point
The majority
on.
of people are not living
Together
their
as
dreams, they're
one.
living their fears. It's
And I'm going to say to the African American community too, together as one, I want y'all to take that vote. And I want you to take that vote for 2020 and see what it can do for you. If it can't do anything for you, don't give your vote up. Just don't give it up.
Get ready.
All these false promises, vote for somebody for 4 more years.
This isn't the
went
time
by.
to quit. This isn't the time to feel bad for yourself.
No,
and
you
point
been
the
there,
finger
did
and
that,
play the
done
blame
that,
game
got
of who
t-shirts
did
and
what
all
to
that
you.
crap.
This is the time to reinvent yourself. And you
And that
have the
includes
power.
me.
You have the ability.
I'm gonna tell you, I am giving you something
every
for your
single day
vote.
and completely
I am.
reimagine who you are.
We take the taxpayers' money, we do everything else with it. Like this war, this national emergency,
The only one that can
for
stop
$8
you
billion
from winning
to
is
go for
you.
this fake ass war.
The enemy
You know
is
how
not
many
the man
how much
standing
$8 billion
next to you.
that I can
The
do
enemy is
with
not
the
your
American people
boss
investing
or
to
your
you
colleague.
for your startup
The enemy
business,
is
for your
staring
business
you
spending.
in the
Do you
face
know what we can
every
do for
morning
our
you
taxpayer
wake up.
money?
You are
That
your
is what I'm
own
talking
enemy.
about.
You need to conquer yourself
We
before
the
you
tax
can conquer the
we do
world.
all of that. But you need to ask the question, when we do that, where is that money gonna go? Who's gonna get it? Is it gonna go directly to me, for my American dream, for my business? If the answer is no, it's just a bunch of talk, money going back into the system that none of us are not gonna see. Like I said, I have 30 years of experience, highly educated, serve my country. Don't let, because I don't have senator in front of my name, a congresswoman in front of my name, or billionaire in front of my name, or I'm not a household name. Don't let that deter you from getting to know me, because I am just as capable of giving you what I promise you, and more. I know how to pass policy. I went to school that advanced studies in public policy process, because I wanted to have knowledge about the job, what it entails. That's all I ask American people. Don't let those household names, don't let, because they're a senator and all that stuff, sway you away from other candidates. Compete power the candidates, the president, for your future. Because the news media, CNN, MSNBC, they've been knowing about me since 2017, but they would not give me 1 second of time on TV. Because you know why? You know why? I am the 99%. I'm not a billionaire. I'm not a millionaire. I don't get that free media like those senators and congress people get. They can announce that they run it. All the cameras are all out there. It's all about raising money. So don't get tied up and caught up into fear. The best person to beat Trump. That's fear. That's what that is. Right now, he only got 39, 40%. Do you actually think the 20, 30% that left him gonna come back and vote for that fool? No, they're not. Not at all. So, don't let that fear scare you saying, oh, the best person. But let me tell you, if you want the best person, I am the best person. And I can be raw, and I can be unfiltered. And let me tell you something. I am a female. And all I got to say, Trump, I will bring you down to your damn knees. Because it's time for you to go. You will expire in 2020, and we will be taking back over the People House. I'm going to make that clear. We will be taking back over the People House. Again, we will be taking back over the People House. I am the candidate that will dump stop and dump Trump. I am the candidate that will stop and dump Trump. I'm your candidate. Greene 2020. Go to my website. Donate, 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 volunteer. I need to start my One America for All Americans and Non-American tour. I want to travel the entire United States of America. I want to be able to find you. I don't give a crap where you at. You could be living on a bench in a park. You could be living underground. I don't care where you live. I don't care how your house look. Guess what? I'm not scared of nothing. I'm not scared of rats. I'm not scared of roaches. I'm not scared of dirt. I'm not scared of nothing. You are the people of this country. If I'm scared of you, then I don't have no business running for president. See you. Go to my website and donate.